If you want to win this Falchion Knife Gamma Doppler, comment, subscribe, and like the video. What's actually harder, being Global Elite in 2016, hitting 30,000 rating in Premier, or reaching FACEIT level 10? Because depending on who you ask, you'll hear three completely different stories. Some people swear Global Elite back in the day was the hardest CS has ever been. Others think Premier 30K is the new peak. And then there's FACEIT level 10, the rank that gets treated like either the end goal or the bare minimum, depending on who you're talking to. The truth is, this argument never goes anywhere because people compare these ranks like they exist in the same environment. They don't. You're not just comparing skill levels, you're comparing eras, ecosystems, and player intent. And once you understand that, the skill gap becomes a lot clearer. Let's start with Global Elite in 2016. Back in 2016, Global Elite actually meant something. CSGO was at its peak, there was no Premier system, and FACEIT hadn't fully taken over high-level play yet. Matchmaking was the main competitive outlet for most players, and reaching Global Elite puts you in a very small percentage of the player base. A 2016 Global Elite player usually had strong aim for the time, decent positioning, solid crosshair placement, and a basic understanding of utility. They knew default smokes, understood trading, and could clutch rounds consistently. Compared to the average player back then, they were miles ahead. And this is why Global Elite from that era gets romanticized so much. It genuinely felt elite. When you queued into a global game, you expected serious players who wanted to win. But here's the part people don't like hearing. If you take a true 2016 Global Elite player and drop them straight into modern high-level CS, they wouldn't dominate. They'd struggle at first. Global Elite felt incredibly difficult because the overall skill floor was lower. Being great back then doesn't automatically translate to being great now. Now let's talk about Premier 30,000 rating. On paper, 30K Premier sounds insane. It's one of the highest visible ratings in CS2, and statistically it puts you in the top fraction of the player base. To reach it, you need a high win rate, strong mechanics, and the ability to carry games consistently. But Premier has a problem, and that problem is consistency. Premier suffers from cheating, rating inflation through stacking, and a much looser approach to how CS is played. You can climb extremely high by playing aggressive, chaotic CS that would never work in more structured environments. Bad habits don't get punished as often, and teamwork is inconsistent. That doesn't mean 30,000 players are bad, far from it. Some of them are genuinely elite. But Premier doesn't filter players by structure or decision-making the way other platforms do. It filters mostly by results, and results can be misleading. This is why Premier 30K feels unpredictable. You can face a god-tier aimer one game, and a player with zero fundamentals the next. Now let's talk about FACEIT level 10. This is where the conversation changes. FACEIT isn't perfect, but it creates an environment where bad habits get punished quickly. The anti-cheat is better, players care more about winning, and utility usage isn't optional, it's required. FACEIT level 10 is also the most misunderstood rank in CS. People talk about it like it's a single skill level, but it isn't. The difference between a fresh 2000 ELO level 10 and a 3000 ELO level 10 is massive. They're playing completely different games. A low ELO level 10 has strong mechanics, solid fundamentals, and a good understanding of maps. They're better than almost every Global Elite from any era. They're also usually favored against most Premier 30,000 players, but put that same level 10 against a 2,700 or 3,000 ELO player, and they get exposed instantly. Decision making is faster, utility is cleaner, punishment is immediate. There's no room for ego plays or sloppy mistakes. FACEIT level 10 isn't the finish line, it's the entry point to real high-level CS. Now let's do direct comparisons. Global Elite 2016 versus Premier 30,000. Premier wins. The mechanical ceiling is higher, players have more hours, and the pace is much faster. Even if the structure is worse, the raw skill level is higher. Premier 30K versus FACEIT level 10. FACEIT wins. Better teamwork, better utility, better reads, and better punishment of mistakes. Premier aim alone doesn't carry here. So if we rank these from hardest to easiest, it goes like this. FACEIT level 10 is the hardest. Premier 30,000 comes next. Global Elite 2016 is the easiest. And before people get mad, this isn't disrespecting older players. It's acknowledging reality. CS didn't get easier, players got better. The biggest mistake people make is thinking ranks measure absolute skill. They don't. They measure performance within a system, and each system rewards different behaviors. Most Premier 30,000 players wouldn't instantly succeed on FACEIT. Most Global Elites wouldn't survive modern high-level CS, and most FACEIT level 10 players are still nowhere near the top. The real skill gap in CS isn't between ranks. It's between how the game is actually played, and once you understand that, this argument finally makes sense.